A devastating winter for millions of Syrian families displaced by the civil war, warned the UN World Food Programme this week. The agency announced that it does not have the funds to continue providing life-saving food vouchers to more than 1.7 million Syrian refugees. Without the program, many families will simply go hungry. WFP has appealed for a total of $64 million to continue its December operations and also launched a social media campaign through which the public can donate.
We are very hopeful that this campaign picks up quickly over the next few hours and few days. So far, we have seen a very positive reaction on Facebook and on Twitter. This may be a very ambitious campaign, but we are counting on the goodwill of so many supporters of WFP.
Global efforts to respond to the Ebola outbreak in West Africa are starting to show results. The United Nations had set targets for the 1st of December of 70% of burials being done safely and treatment rates for people with Ebola of at least 70% to end the outbreak.
Those 70 targets in 60 days were set so that we could turn this crisis around, and that has been achieved.
While the global response has successfully turned the crisis around, the real measure of success was bringing the number of cases down to zero. The World Health Organization says the outbreak has infected more than 16,000 people in 8 countries and claimed more than 6,000 lives. As the outbreak evolves, adjustments will be needed, with more focus on finding people with Ebola, tracing their contacts, and ensuring they receive treatment.
Responses are becoming more and more nimble and flexible, continually adapting to needs, and at all times remaining coordinated, so resources are used effectively and efficiently.
90-90-90. That's the new target the United Nations is setting to bring an end to the AIDS epidemic once and for all. Marking this year's World AIDS Day, the UN launched its fast-track strategy to end the AIDS epidemic by 2030, with a campaign to educate 90% of people living with HIV on their HIV status, to place 90% of people with HIV on treatment, and to make sure 90% of people on treatment have suppressed viral loads, keeping them healthy and reducing the risk of HIV transmission. For a disease that once sowed widespread panic, today there's also good news. 14 million people worldwide are now accessing HIV treatment. New HIV infections have been reduced by 38% since 2001, and the world is on track to eliminate mother-to-child transmissions within the next few years.
Let us use the window, the next 5 years, to achieve our dream of 90-90-90. I want to say to the world today that is time for us to redouble our effort, to fast-track our actions, to make sure that we quicken the pace. Together, I am sure we can end AIDS epidemic by 2030.